Are they not back there?
Reminder to everybody to turn off your microphones when you're not speaking, and then turn them on when you are speaking. That way reduce the feedback. Also be cognizant of what you say privately around the microphones. It could be hot. Okay, we ready for the countdown? Cut the music.
Hi Jim, how are you doing?
Seems to shine. No. Your place.
Thanks, Jim.
Dance with you, oh my love. Can I just make some more romance with you, oh my love? One more dance.
Yes, sir.
Craig, cut the music. Bring it all the way down.
Yeah, I'm just going to read it in.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 2 o'clock. If I could get everyone, please, to take a seat and quiet down, and we'll begin the meeting. Could I first ask everyone to stand, face the flag, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now, next item on the agenda is to either add, delete, or modify the published agenda. Does anyone have anything they wish to bring forward on that subject? If no one else does, I will say that we've been given a piece of a portion of the agenda, which will be handled by the full board. If you could please insert this document that was given to us by the full board under the section which is 5C. We'll just let the board say what they want to say in 5C, and I will not try to steer that particular portion of the meeting. All right, if there are no other changes or modifications to the agenda as published, can we have a motion to accept it? So moved. A second. Any opposed? Okay, and then it is adopted, and we will move forward with this agenda. So I'm supposed to say something here about a chair report. First of all, let me say that we have a Charity Week coming up, and because of that, our June meeting, which was originally scheduled for June 6th, will move to the 12th. That's why I gave you 3 different documents, which you've already had. They're just updated to be a little more accurate with where we are. The recreation document is I've just truncated the dates and brought the new items forward. The delegate list roster is basically the same one that you have already received from Tammy Morgan, and the last is the something or other. Oh, the schedule of meetings, which includes today, and you will see that it also shows that that June meeting has been moved to the 12th. There have been some changes in the DDA, and that's really why the roster was redone, just to highlight those changes. In District 9, Linda Vieira and Denny Rubenstein will stay on as delegate and alternate delegate. In District 14, Carly Beeks has unfortunately lost Robin Niemeyer because she is moving and she has resigned, so District 14 is currently in need of an alternate delegate. In District 11, Sosie Hyatt and Lori Hazelton are flipping roles. Sosie will be the delegate, and Lori Hazelton will become the alternate. And in Loretta's district, District 2, we still need an alternate. So we have 2 districts that need an alternate. Other than that, all positions are currently filled. The meeting format will be somewhat different today because of the addition of every one of the master board members. We're pleased to have them here. And we're interested to hear what they have to say. I believe the topic of that basically is developing a stronger working relationship between the master board and the delegate assembly. And that should be always a good topic. And let me reinforce again, we will not have a meeting at the regularly scheduled time in June. It has been moved 1 week out to June 12th, and that's for the Charity Week. And in the back of the room, I'm sure you saw that there are a whole bunch of bags and boxes and printed materials. That all has to do with Charity Week, but I will let the folks from Charity Week cover that when they speak. And that is all I have to say. The next item on the agenda we will move to is standing speakers, and the first would be Candace Jenkins or someone from the EPAP Executive Committee. And it's Candace.
It's on now. Thank you. Good afternoon, delegates, FSR board members, and residents. This weekend, we had our first volunteer appreciation open house. We had approximately 120 people attend. Thank you to the delegates that brought beverages, food, and passed out invitations and helped to make this party a huge success. We received several suggestions from the volunteers which will help us to improve what we are currently doing. We will have our EPAP 101 on Thursday, May 8th at 2 p.m. in the main clubhouse, the multipurpose room. We will have several items on the agenda to discuss. We hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. And next we have Michelle Walter in a dual role with both community awareness and also Welcome Home.
Good afternoon, delegates. I really like that we're facing you. We get to see everybody. Okay, I'm going to talk to you first about our Welcome Home, and that was on April 24th. It was 5 o'clock in the ballroom. We had 45 new homeowners attending the dinner. We also had 11 clubs there to greet our new members, and I think they really enjoyed it. Again, I want to remind the delegates we had 7 no-shows, and those were people that said that didn't even say to their delegates they weren't coming. Please, please contact your homeowners a little bit beforehand, because we still have to pay for those dinners regardless if they show up or not. I was able to invite some of the people from the clubs, so those dinners didn't go to waste, but please in the future make sure that you try and contact them a little ahead of time. If you let me know a couple days before, that's okay, but the day of, it makes it very difficult. I'm just going to go over the stats real quick. I'm going to put them in the lifestyles for you, so you don't need to put them down. So active are coming soon. 60, 10 condos from $325 to $379, 50 homes prices from $319 to $395, and escrow 17, 2 condos from $310 to $900. 360. Yeah, wow. 15 homes prices from $302,400 to $515. Closed escrows were 11. They were 11 homes, $281,700 to $469. So if you take our 2310 times 11, that was $25,410, depending if they were all new home buyers. And for March, there were only 9 that closed. So if you take our 2310 times 9, that was 20,790. So for March and April, that was a total of $46,200 that went into our replacement fund. Right, Gary? That was good, huh? That was good. Okay, so the next one for our community awareness program, it is this Tuesday, May 6th, from 1 to 3. I'm having Amber Rockwell. She's a core manager for the City of Banning Electric Utility. Isaac Nelson and Tom Wall from Synergy Companies. And so I really would like everybody to attend this, and out there in TV land, if you're watching, you need to come to this. It's really going to be a very informative program. They're going to talk about, he's going to have an energy quiz. And he's going to have raffle prizes and giveaways. There will be question and answers. So it'll be fun for everybody. It's a very nice one. I know that Candace had put it on before. It was very, very well attended. And I'm hoping this one is too. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Before we go on to item number 5, I need to go back to item number 2 because I skipped right over it. We need to approve the minutes from the last Delegate Assembly meeting on March 6th. Does anyone have any changes they would like to enter or modifications to the minutes from March 6th? Anita?
Anita Lawrence, District 18. Under guest speakers, Patrick Fraley, President of HELP. It should read, the program provides monthly baskets of food to over 600 families in the Pass area, in addition to providing weekly bags of food for the homeless through the Faith in Action program. I can provide that to,
Yes, please.
The text, could you please?
I will get that to you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Barbara?
I just wanted to mention that on the last page where it talks about including the HELP newsletter, we did not pass that motion, and then it ended up on our newsletter.
That is correct, and I can clarify for you that it was because HELP paid for it. HELP paid the price on the flyer that was distributed in all newsletters. It was not done by the board. Any other modifications or changes to the minutes from the 5th? If there are no other changes, I need a motion to accept as modified. Carly, and a second. B, and is there anyone opposed? If no one is opposed, then that motion passes and we will record it with the modification as specified. Moving now to the guest speakers on item number 5. First we have Rachel Sacido from CCL, and she is here to give us an update on food and beverage. Hi, Rachel.
Good afternoon, delegates. Thank you for having us here today. See if I can read this and see you with my glasses. First off, I have Javier Sarmiento here, your Director of Food and Beverage. He will be attending this meeting moving forward. He and I will work very closely together to make sure that we're developing strong partnerships with you through the food and beverage program. So we recognize that the district delegates are going to be an instrumental part of the Sun Lakes Country Club, and having a positive relationship with you is our #1 priority. And it's nice to see some familiar faces, so thank you for participating and joining us in the venues, and we look forward to getting to know each and every one of you more. We want to be your hospitality partner, and we've been meeting with many members to plan upcoming events, and we've received a lot of feedback about the catering menu and what's going to happen and how we're going to support the needs that you have, your food and beverage needs. And with that feedback, we've already made some adjustments. We hear that there's price points that need to be met, and we've updated that and created those, and we'll continue to take the feedback and understand what it is you're looking for. Like I said, we want to be your hospitality partner. We want you to just be able to come to us and ask for what you need and know that you're going to receive exceptional food, service, and not have to seek the outside for any catering needs. And we want to be flexible, right? So if you see something and you have a question about it, let us know. And we can talk through it. We can explain the reasoning why something may be priced the way it is, or what all of that entails. So if you haven't seen it already, the catering menu is on the Sun Lakes Country Club website, along with all the other menus from the venues, so please take a look at those. The other piece I wanted to talk about today is feedback. Okay, so I already mentioned that we did receive some feedback about the catering when we started to meet with people, but we've also, feedback from the regular venues is very important as well. We've been here for a month. We started on April 1st, and we've had 3 weeks of service in the venues, and we've learned a lot during those times. And so for the feedback, we need to hear from you what you're looking for and what your experiences are. So we have a system that we're using, and if you've noticed in the Sandwich and in the the lounge, there are 2 kiosks that ask you a series of questions and then leave you an option to type some text and leave some specific feedback for us. So those are great, but we need awareness that they're there. But if you've noticed on your receipt as well, there's a QR code. So if you don't want to give your feedback while you're in the venue, you can take your receipt back to the comfort of your home and scan that, and that system is all tied together. So it all rolls up into the same dashboard for us, and we can look at those results daily. The system actually sends me a weekly email recap and tells me what our satisfaction score was for that week, and then we can drill down to the hour, really, of what our pain points were or when people were really happy. So this past Sunday, I'm looking at the report, and I see like around lunchtime in the Sandwich, I'm getting some negative responses, and it's because people are asking for a later breakfast offering on Sundays. So, that's great feedback for us to hear, and then we can then take that back and decide how we can modify or not, depending on what needs to happen, how we can deal with that feedback. We did hear a lot of feedback, and we saw a lot of the feedback on Facebook about Easter brunch, and that there may have been some items that were missed from what you've experienced in the past. We did as much observation and tried to review as much as we could from the past, and tried to, we wanted to make sure that we were putting something out that we knew we could be successful at executing on, a couple weeks in, right? So we heard all that feedback, and I don't know if you've seen the Mother's Day menu yet. It's also up on the website. But we added a lot of those items that you were asking for on to the Mother's Day menu. We started selling Mother's Day brunch tickets earlier this week, and unfortunately, we haven't had a very good response rate to reservations yet. So I'd like to ask all of you, as the voice of your districts, to please encourage members to continue to participate and continue to try different things and different events that we're offering, because as we continue to get that feedback, we're gonna adjust. So please, if you could encourage your district to give us a try for Mother's Day. So, like I said, we're a month in, 3 weeks into service, and even though we did a lot of observation before we started and we planned as best we could, there are still things that are coming up that we didn't know about. There's some nuances, some specific things, and so we're adapting to those, but we just ask for your patience and your kindness. We want to give you everything that you want your food and beverage program to be. So if you're not satisfied with something, please let us know. And I'm happy to announce that already next week, based on the feedback we've received, we're making some changes to the menus already. We're expanding the restaurant menu. That's going to continue to be one of those ones that we really are going to develop as we identify what the members really want out of the restaurant. And then we're, of course, putting onion rings back. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I would like to open it up for any questions that anybody may have.
Linda. Which one? You. Linda, Viera first.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
I would just like to thank you for changing the French fries. I really appreciate that. I love the $5 bites. That's wonderful. We just had lunch here today, and I think we were very satisfied. May I ask, I also wanted you to mention the message to management that's to the food and beverage management that's on the website. That's very welcome also. And could you, Javier, could you spell your last name for me?
Well, certainly, it's Sarmiento, spelled, I know it's a little bit confusing, but Sarmiento.
And you're going to be the face of the food and beverage
Yes, ma'am.
every day?
Every day.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Linda Spalding.
This is for you, Javier. Did you get a phone yet?
Working on it. So I have my personal cell phone, but they're working on getting some internet lines in the phone. So yeah, thank you. I know there's people helping us with that already.
Right, and then with Letty out, are we contacting you? Because I had my social committee meeting today, and so I have a bunch of questions and things to ask for. And then my golf events, Rachel, am I contacting Javier? Because I have it coming up on Tuesday.
Actually, Jaja is coming back tomorrow to cover for Letty while she's away. But yes, Javier and Alberto are your permanent on-site team members that you can talk to about your needs.
Charlie London.
Yeah, Charlie London. I'm talking about the Friendship Club. We have a concert every Sunday each month, and I was having a problem getting the bar window open. We had 160 people attend our conference or our concert, and talked to Javier about having this open for at least an hour between 6 and 7, and we weren't allowed to do that. We also brought 5 tables of 8 people. We had 40 people in the sand wedge just before the concert. Most of them walk over here, and now to get drinks, we have to go from the ballroom, through the lounge, through the restaurant, to the sand wedge, buy drinks, and bring them back over here. I was wondering if you could improve on that for us.
Yes, and I believe you and I talked about that at one point as well. I think that's a conversation that we need to have and determine how we can staff that bar window, because the lounge isn't typically open on Sunday evenings, so there isn't somebody scheduled there already. But if you all are willing to purchase, we're willing to sell it to you.
They're willing to purchase if we have it open, especially beer and wine.
Okay.
For them to walk all the ways around, or they got to go out this door, back around through the sand wedge. And we'd appreciate it if you could give us an hour on the days of our concert on Sundays. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What are the dates of the concert?
I can provide you with those, yes.
Okay.
Jean.
Could you let us know what your lead time is to plan for banquets? How far in advance can we or should we talk to you about menus for banquets? The further out, the better. The most notice you can give us is 100%, is absolutely the best. But, depending on the size of it, we can be flexible. If something comes up, the unexpected that you need right away, talk to us, call us, let us know, and we can try and work with you. But I would say, 3 to 4 weeks is ideal to schedule. There's a lot of activities and a lot of events that happen. So I think people tend to look pretty far out on their calendars. But 3 to 4 weeks is probably ideal. Okay, thank you.
And then I'll just add one other thing. We are going to have a catering website that's going to be available to you all, where you're going to be able to go to that website and create yourself an account, and you can look at the menu and build your order and actually submit that order to Food and Beverage, and then we'll respond to you and get your event scheduled.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds very cool. Janice?
Brussels sprouts, please.
Okay.
Please. That's all.
Marcia?
I know that you talked about Alberto. I'm not sure that everybody knows who Alberto is, so.
Good afternoon. So Alberto Ortiz, he's our dining room manager. He comes from us from experience in regards to hotels, down from ordering and as well as front of the house. So he'll be actually overseeing the front of the house operation, along with obviously my guidance, and yeah, he's available pretty much whenever you want him. So just look for him. That's the other bowl guy. So they'd be confusing us with which the bowl guy is it? So the guy with the darker beard. So, but yeah, he's available to talk to anybody as well.
Ann.
Ann Hofer, District 12. Rachel and Javier, welcome. And I'm looking forward to working with you. I am the president of ICC. And of course, our first event was kind of a disaster. We're hoping to move forward with a better program. I'd like to be assured, if that being on a Thursday, that we don't have a disruption with karaoke.
We have also identified that there may be an opportunity to change karaoke because it's impacting the restaurant on Thursdays as well. So we started those conversations this week.
I spoke with Jaja in regards to doing our June menu, so we have that all planned. I did that with Letty before she left. But I just also, as Charlie said, I'd like to assure that my people can use this bar window. She assured me we could, so I'm just following up.
Yes, and I want to apologize for the miscommunication and our misstep for your first event. We didn't know that we needed to have an attendant there. So we've adjusted one of those nuances that we've learned as we've started. But thank you for your partnership, and we're committed to making sure your events are successful.
Will you be having meetings with your groups such as Friendship Club and ICC and other groups that do banquets? I emphasized that to Javier, I believe, at the last ICC function, that we need to all be on the same page.
Agreed.
So that no further things happen, that's kind of off. But thank you.
Thank you.
Linda.
Rachel, creating an account. Explain that to me. So each of us in a district, we can open up an account for our events and pay by credit card, pay by check. Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be open to every member of Sun Lakes, and you can create yourself an account. If you want a district account, you can do that. You want an individual account, you can have a different login for that if you wanted to. And yes, at the end of your event, you can pay by check or by credit card.
Linda.
Today at lunch, the server did not require our Sun Lakes identification card. And I think that's very important, so that a resident is always at the table or something like that to identify that we belong here.
Yes. We do not require a member card to open an order and start a new order any longer, but we are still asking to see your member card so that we can know that you are a member. We have several new employees, and we're training everybody, and it's a change for the servers that came transitioned with us. Once they realized they didn't have to actually swipe it be able to take an order, it's become a little lax, but they still need to ask to verify that you're a member. Okay. Thank you.
Anita.
Anita Lawrence, District 18. I believe this was addressed at the open session, but it would be helpful if you could you put something out on social media about the sales tax on the service charge? There's a lot of misinformation floating around on our social media pages about the sales tax.
Yes, I will do that. And just for this group, I will explain the sales tax and how it's listed on your receipt. So in the state of California, a service charge has been and will continue to be taxed. For our accounting purposes and our tax reporting,
we require the tax on food and beverage to be listed separately than the tax on a service charge. So that's why you see two different lines. But previous to us, if you've looked at your receipt and calculated, your service charge was always taxed along with your food and beverage, and it just was listed on one tax line. So nothing's changed, we've just given it additional detail. Our tax people are really strict. We don't like to make them mad.
Rachel, can you tell me, back to the website or without the website, we at one point in time, if we were booking banquets with the food and beverage department, did not have to place a deposit, then that was changed and we were putting a 50% deposit for those groups in advance. Sometimes that 50% deposit was greater than the treasury of the group at that time because often the sales come after the reservations. So you may not know the answer to this right now, but do you know what policy going forward might be?
There will be no deposit required.
No deposit required. We like that.
There are stipulations, though, in the policies that, and once the website goes live for all of you, and maybe we should just put those policies out, about cancellation timeline.
Understood. Understood. If nobody has any more questions, I do. Are you issuing currently, you may be, I don't know, a gift card for restaurant and lounge?
We know that there is a need for a gift card program. It's on the list, but there's a couple other priorities ahead of that.
Soon to be announced at some future date.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I like it. Anyone else have questions for Rachel or Javier?
I'll just share one other item since it just seems relevant now. We've been working on being able to set up the tablets and the credit card readers so we can take payment at the table. So you'll be seeing that come to fruition in the next coming days. We have some of them connected. Of course, technology is what it is, and we're having trouble with a couple of the tablets staying connected to the credit card readers, but we're hoping that that will provide some more efficiencies in service, and if you're not interested in having a receipt, you're more than welcome to pay at the table and be on your merry way. You could still pay at the table and ask for a receipt. Your server's just gonna have to go back to the printer and get one, but it's gonna be nice for you to be able to review your bill and sign for your charge right there at the table.
Okay. Janice.
So it's still going to remain credit cards, no cash, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one more for Javier. Javier, would your phone possibly be tied up with the new phone system that's coming in? Is one of those phones destined to be yours? Is that?
It will be.
Okay.
Just so far, I have not had the chance to get that yet, but we will be having it. And the same thing with the website, that those messages that says food and beverage, they'll go directly to me. And then so I already had some members that have emailed me directly, and then I'll be able to answer them back and have some sort of dialogue with them.
Okay. One more. Ann.
Yes, ma'am.
Last time, I promise.
No worries.
Message to management for food and beverage. I wrote one about 2 weeks ago. Haven't received an answer.
Which I have not received one from you directly, but okay, I'll look back and see what I received.
I just appreciate it. I just want people to
no
know
worries.
that it is working.
Correct. It is working. I've been receiving some of those messages. Now some of those messages, unfortunately, are not related to food and beverage, and I will really send them back. Usually I go back to, to whoever needs to be related to, because they were related to like internet systems and and some of the other things that were not related to us. But we'll make sure that we get those back.
Much appreciated.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know he's going to go back and look for it, but why don't you just send another one?
Yeah, please.
No more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having us.
Next item under guest speakers would be Beverly Simmons, and she's here on behalf of Charity Week. Hi, Beverly.
Good afternoon, all of you, and thank you for inviting me here to bring goodies for you guys. I have to thank you. Every year, the district delegates have been very, very helpful in distributing our tickets that we have for the ball drop and the Charity Week raffle, as well this year as the little programs that we just had printed. So that's all the stuff in the back there for you. And it's all broken out into different districts. So if you'll stop by on your way out, you're going to be picking up on the right-hand side are boxes and bags with these in them, and they're counted out for your district. And on this side are bags with these in them. So these will be going together. You can take them and stick them together and stick them in a mailbox if you have a lucky mailbox district, or put them on the doorstep, however you do with the other districts that don't have the mailboxes to put them in. We'd like you to get these out as soon as you can, because the tickets in here will be returned for the ball drop and the charity raffle. So it gives people time to take that and return it to Sharon Keeley. Inside there is an envelope with the return address on it, like this. So people can put that out. There's also this pretty little pink card that tells you everything that's going on, including ticket sales, which start on the 7th of this month. Charity Week is only a month away. Can you believe it? So you'll have this in there that tells you the events of every day and the pricing on the back of the tickets that we are selling. So we will be outside in front of the main lobby. Under the portico, there'll be a big sign that says Charity Week ticket sales. Wednesdays and Fridays, starting on the 7th, from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock. And Saturdays from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We're trying to be there for people who are still working. The other 2 days, we're trying to catch the bar business. Seems to work very, very well. So we're out there. We don't have a lot of tickets that we're selling, so we don't really need help with the ticket sales this year. This is the information that we really need help for. And we really, really appreciate all of you doing that. So please stop by and pick that up. Is there anything that I'm missing? Any questions that anybody has about Charity Week? Marcia? The hours are Wednesdays and Fridays from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock outside. And we do take cash, even though the HOA doesn't. We do take cash. We also take checks, and we also take credit cards, because you can buy all of your tickets except for the tickets for the wine club all at once. So we'll be selling tickets for happy hour. We'll be selling tickets for the pancake breakfast. We'll be selling tickets for the ball drop if you want more. We'll be selling drink tickets, most important tickets that you can have out there. They're $5 each, or a roll of 11 for $50. And we also are going to have an all-you-can-eat chips and salsa, tortilla chips and salsa at the Saturday event, which is Wally Larson. How many have heard Wally play? If you've been, yeah, he's fabulous. Out on the veranda right after the shootout. So that's from 1 until 4, and there'll be the bar open and the chips for you there as well. So we're selling all of that. You can buy all of it at the same time. Drink tickets will be sold also at each event. And your drink tickets are good at every single event that has a charity bar. These are just drink tickets for the charity bar. You can't try to give them to Angel, yeah? She won't take them. It's funny that way. So I hope that's all the information that I need to give. If not, please raise your hand and ask me a question. This is old hat for you guys, isn't it? Thanks again. I really appreciate your time. And don't forget to stop in the back, or else I'll come chase you down. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Diane, for all the work you're doing on this. It's a big, big project. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda would be a discussion with the master board. This is very atypical for a delegate assembly meeting to have the full master board here. And I'd like to go back just for a second into the bylaws. This is something that they asked me to put on the agenda because they want to speak directly to the delegates on a few issues and get their feedback, and it seemed the most efficient way to do it, so I added them to the agenda. As part of our charter in the bylaws, we're to perform tasks. I'm reading from an amendment where the delegate assembly was created under item in section 9B under 9A under item E, perform tasks related to association member communications, such as informal opinion polling of members as the board may from time to time request. So this kind of falls underneath that category, and we welcome the master board. And at this moment in time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Don Day, and he's done a mini agenda for his portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Cal. Is the volume okay? Is my volume okay for everybody? Seems like I get too close to the speaker at the open board meeting, so I'm going to try to work better on that. Your board is very excited to be here with you. We've been meeting frequently amongst ourselves. Earlier in the week, we met with all of the committee members, had a similar conversation that we hope to have with you guys here today. And the purpose of these meetings is just to open up a dialogue and discuss where we think we're going as a board and how we can work together. Before I go any further, I'd like to introduce you new board members, and maybe they could just introduce themselves. Joe?
Joe Ganino, Vice President.
Oh, the new board members. Sandra Goodconnecton, I'm the secretary. Thank you. You just got elected, although you're not new.
He's definitely.
I'm not new, but my name is Gary Burkle. I'm treasurer and happy to be here.
Yeah, they may be old, but we still consider them new because we're a new team, so.
We're all old.
No harm, no foul, right? So anyways, we had a very good meeting with the committees. One of the things we wanted to focus on is re-establishing and giving them an opportunity to work with the board on creating their new charters going forward. So that's been handed off to them. We also asked for some help on making our meetings better, our open meetings. They had some great ideas, which hopefully you'll see in the next upcoming open board meeting. The CCNRs and bylaws, we tried to get up to speed with where you guys are at. I passed out a letter from 2008 and a copy of the Second Amendment bylaws. You guys have already been through it over and over again, but it was good for us to review it so we know where the delegates came from and where you plan on going. But regardless of bylaws, rules, David Sterling and all that, the main thing we want to do is find a way to work effectively with you. You are our first line of communication with residents, so we want to find a way for us to get what we're working on to the residents through you, and we want to work with you so you can share with us information and feedback from your residents. So that's the main purpose of the meeting here today. You know, we really need input. You know, Rachel spoke about they were here just under a month, I think, if you consider they actually started on the 7th. And residents have been really great to support and come out and kick the tires and try the menus, and they are committed to taking feedback from you. I guess I'd like to make one comment on social media. Many of the questions here today were questions that they have a system in place to receive your questions, your comments, what you'd like to see changed. And the board team that started this has been meeting with them twice a month on Wednesdays, and the entire board is meeting with CCL at the second and fourth Wednesday of our regular board meetings. So we've been working very, very closely with them, and you can't list all the adjustments and things that they've made, but we're very happy that they're here, they're trying new things. We didn't give them a whole bunch of information of what was good, what was bad, because quite frankly, we didn't have a lot of information historically. So they're kind of learning on the fly. The first service recovery I saw as a result of communication was residents in the Sandwich didn't like the sourdough bread. They changed it based on comments the next day. So that's just a simple thing, but effectively improving the banquets to your expectations. You know, we drove them very hard in negotiations and establishing the budget for the first year. And I would say, if it was my opinion, I would say they probably led with that objective to come up with menus in areas that they weren't comfortable with, weren't familiar with, that were probably leaning more towards the minimize losings or improving profitability. But they're listening to your comments, and you'll see that in the Mother's Day menu that is out for everybody to see. So they are changing and we're going forward. That being said, there's one area in particular that the board would really like to reach out to you on. There's actually two, but the first one is in your little packet there. You know, this community is changing rapidly. You know, we're getting, as Michelle mentioned, we're getting newer people in here. Many of them are still working. We still have, I call them seniors here. Everybody has different needs, different ways of communicating and receiving information. And what we would like to ask of the Delegate Assembly is if you could meet in your workshops or whatever format that you could do that. And we'd like you to come up with a plan on how we could distribute and receive a survey which is focused on what is Sun Lake's demographics today. A lot of this, we work with First Service on from the information from the age verification study. They know how many rentals are in districts. We know how many vacants there are. We know the ages of the residents. But some of the things that we're really, really interested in, and let me just share with you, we'd like to do a survey of all residents focusing on demographics. We'd also like, working with management, to create a report to the district by age, rentals, vacant homes, like I already said. The survey to residents should be short and focused on quantity of working residents by district, preferred hours for meetings, community participation, how they receive community information today. And the goal, please don't laugh, but the target goal is to receive a 70% or better response rate. So we're interested in how you could distribute the survey, how you can track responses to know if you're getting responses from your residents or not, how we can follow up on those responses, and we'd also like to have any ideas that you think would be appropriate to put on this first survey that the board and the Delegate Assembly could put together. So that's basically what we're looking for, and you guys think that would be a worthy project that you'd be interested in putting together a plan on? Could I have a show of hands who would be in favor of doing that?
Well, actually, we kind of have to float a motion on that and then, then pass it through.
That's fine.
Are you open to questions, or are you done?
The other area that I believe you brought up previously and then canceled was looking at the Sun Lake's website to kind of benchmark what we have and consider a project to redesign that. If that's something you'd like to do, we'd be interested in your thoughts on that as well. The marketing committee has already done some work on targeting what that might look like. So I would suggest if that's a project you guys would like to work on, touch base with Michelle and the marketing committee and see if you could put a plan together. So I think that's more than enough for a new relationship with us. Any board members like to make any other comments?
Yeah, I would. I think that it's really, really important that we look at this survey seriously. The demographics have changed here. I'm new here. I'm different than maybe the resident that moved in 20 years ago. So I think you should really consider doing this. I think it's really important that we understand our resident today so that we can govern and move in a direction that's more efficient for the future. Thank you.
Yeah, from a historical perspective, anyone who's been here for about 12 years or more, the district delegates and the marketing committee did develop an extensive, Linda may be familiar with that, a very extensive survey which was sent out, and we used that for making many decisions. So I think it's time for another major survey to be developed and distributed and reviewed for making decisions for the future. Thank you.
I think I would agree. It reminds me a little bit of how the government does every 10 years a census. You know, it's like taking a census again, and I think that's it. I think it's been, we said 12 years since the last survey, so it seems like it's time to really understand every 10 years our demographics. And I just want to say another goal too, and that's on here, you know, the delegate help with communication from the board to residents and from residents to the board. And I know formerly as a resident, who was working full-time as well. And I talk about it as communication pathways from residents. You have an issue to bring up. You know, years ago now, this is getting the automated handicap doors at the South Clubhouse, and we went to the district delegate. We didn't get too far. You know, maybe it's the safety committee, and it's just, to me, and I think for others that I've heard feedback, just kind of understanding communication pathways between the residents, their delegates, and the board in decisions that are made. So really, to me, really interested in working closely with you guys to understand some of that and bringing clarity and all of that communication. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well, and just getting to know all of you in the districts better. Having in the campaign, you know, walked flyers to every house. I appreciate those of you that have the walking districts and getting those flyers at the door. It's a lot of work, but it's very appreciated, all of the effort you put in. So thank you.
Well, I don't have anything much to add with regard to the survey. I just want to thank you all for what you do. I mean, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the feedback that we get from the delegates. And I think that the survey is important because better understanding our community and how we respond to the younger part of our community and the older part of our community, which are the two demographics that I think have changed the most over the last few years. So whether it comes to food and beverage or other services or our golf operation, all of those are affected tremendously by the people who live here, obviously, and how we maintain all of our amenities. So anyway, you're critical, and I appreciate everything you do.
Thanks, Gary. I just want to say one more thing, then I'm happy to answer any questions that the board could answer, any questions you might have, hopefully. Anyways, we appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. We were originally trying to schedule a separate meeting, but Cal was nice enough to put us on the agenda, and that saves you from a meeting you didn't need to have to attend separately. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you and open it up to questions.
Mike Voles.
Can I ask my question?
I think the survey is a great thing. I think we're already in possession of the distribution aspect of it. Every month, the board attaches to our district newsletters. So from the facilitating of getting the questionnaire out is pretty well established, I would think. I don't know what you're expecting unless you want us to go door to door and stuff like that. Okay?
Well, the request is for you guys to take a look at it, identify these items here, and see if you come up with a plan that works. So we don't like to mandate as a board, we like your input.
I understand. I just think that, you know, we could form a committee or whatever to come up with, you know, what are we gonna do questions for? Is it gonna be the clubhouse, the golf, whatever? You're probably gonna have 3, 4, maybe 5 different questionnaires, I would think, over a period, if you want an extensive survey. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think the request at this point is very focused on demographics. And if you have some ideas as you're doing brainstorming for those questions, we'd like to look at those. But we're mostly interested in how we can get the program distributed, get the answers back, and then we can figure out what to do with the answers.
You know, Donna, I had one more thing too, just to say on that from the survey. I live near the roads that are getting repaved, and went down to get my mail the other day and was stopped by a resident kind of wanting to know more information about what roads and when. And I said, gosh, I didn't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's on the website. And she says to me, well, I don't have a computer, and neither do any of my neighbors. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And that's something I'd like to understand. You were talking, Gary, about kind of there's this, you know, a younger road, and then there's also an older group that's changing, but we rely so much on computers, QR codes, all these kinds of things, and yet we still, I understand the size of it, of people who don't have computers, may not have smartphones, and those aren't effective avenues of communication. So that's something I think it'd be good for us to understand.
B.
I'm one of those
B, did you hear
dinosaurs.
Bob? Bob said you don't need a microphone.
Bob knows a little bit too much right now. First of all, I think Sandra has a very good idea about representing the board on this committee for the survey. I do think our demographics are definitely changing, and I would like to see her actually represent the board to work with us in coming up with questions and designing the survey. I think she has a lot of specifics to provide for us as far as detail on what specifically the board might be looking for as far as certain questions. So I would volunteer her to volunteer to come to our committee meetings and help us out with this and become sort of a voice for the board.
Help me understand place and timing, but gosh.
We will give you advance notice.
That would be an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, at this point in this project, to be honest with you, the questions are not the most important part. The most important part is you guys developing a system of how we could execute the project. That is the first task, just to keep it simple so we don't get this thing growing into a big project. And if you would like a person or two people from the board to help you do it, you've got an awful lot of people available to you, but if you'd like board support in the beginning, we'd be happy to do that. I'm not sure you really need it. I guess I would defer to Cal. When you guys get together and talk about it, how you might get this project started, just let the board know and we'll respond accordingly to support you, okay?
Actually, my request, I think, would go very well with our delegate assembly here. I figure that if you're asking us to provide something for you, we want to do it right. We want to make sure that we cover all the bases. And if we have a representative from the board working with us, we don't feel like we're having to start from scratch and have everybody input and then come up with something that's not quite specific enough to meet your needs. So I would definitely, if I have to make a motion, I will. But
No, you don't have to make a motion. I mean, we're happy to support you. If you'd like that support from the board up front, we're happy to provide that support.
I would like that support to come from Sandra because I think she has a lot to offer.
No problem.
So we'll,
Cal,
I'll pass
just
it
get
on.
back to us and let us know how you'd like us to proceed.
We will. A few more questions. Linda.
What information do we get from the age verification forms that you cannot use, and are they not put into a spreadsheet that gives you their age, what ethnicity? And a lot of people opt out, so you're not going to get that information.
Right.
And also, I've been here 21 years, and it says that if a resident refuses to fill out the age verification form, they can be fined. We've never done it. And
So, go ahead.
so I'm just saying, like, there's some revenue there, but, you know, but for 21 years, we've not done it.
Right.
And why?
Don't have an answer to that question. But to your point, we're just developing this. We just got elected and we're just meeting several times. And this is one of the projects that we'd like to really kick off with your support. And we've had one conversation with management about the possibility of using the information from the age verification report on top of other databases that they have for the other information, but we have not taken it any further yet. But that is a question. We need to know what information we can get and how to formulate it. So that's outside of what we're asking you to do, but we'll keep you informed because those are all important parts of the project.
Okay. Jim.
Good afternoon, Jim Nickel, District 3, thank you. I just had a suggestion, perhaps we could put this in the Lifestyle magazine. In reference to our newsletters, I maybe get 50% of the people that actually take them off the doors and pay attention to them. So the thought that the Lifestyle is a great magazine, presentable, and I'm quite sure everybody reads it, they could detach a page, we could pick it up, or they could send it in or drop it off. Just a suggestion.
It's a good suggestion. There's many different ways of getting that first survey delivered to every home. And, you know, do your brainstorming. And if that's one, we can quantify the cost of doing it. And maybe that's a more effective way than having delegates hand deliver them. So that's a good idea. Just include that in your idea, in your planning. Thank you.
Greg?
Greg Voico, District 16. I got a really good machine in my district. I've got 154 homes, 14 zones. Right now I'm down 2 zone captains, but I can use my zone captains to distribute these surveys analog, and each of my zone captains has information sheet about all of the residents, and there's a column of check marks. So, you know, all they have to say is return it to me, and keep going back until they get it. It's a little analog, but you know, that's one option.
Very good. Janice? I saw you hiding in the corner there with your hand up.
Janice Rice, District 13. I'm going to be a little bit negative. I hope you guys, I really love Bee's idea of having you guys provide or design this survey, because it needs to be consistent. It needs to have the same questions, the same way of answering, and I think that if we all come off a little willy-nilly on some of the questions or not have it all the same, you're not gonna be able to score it in an appropriate way, obviously. And secondly, 70%, when we couldn't even get that much in the voting this year, getting people to come through the age verification, we fight with that all the time, and it sounds great. It sounds like it would be a wonderful way of finding out information, but that's a pretty high number for this group, and I'd like to find out how we can do better. I have lots of questions on why. We only had, I don't even know if it was a full 50%. 49% of people here in Sun Lakes voted. No, don't tell me to be quiet. Anyway, I think that is a shame in itself.
Well,
we need to work on that.
Well, your point is well taken, and I think some of those things are going to come out in the process of developing the machinery or the equipment to do this project. So thank you. I don't want to take over your meeting, Cal, so.
We're okay.
Okay.
Really quick, was your name Janice? Janice, I may have misunderstood you, but we're not looking for each district to develop a survey, and so they would be different. We are looking for one survey, and it almost sounded to me like you're concerned that we don't have consistency or the same question. So I do want one survey that, okay. Yeah, and
just one.
I want to, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but like with voting, you have to know things about other people to pick, and what we're asking you is to answer questions about yourself, and people know more about that and might be more willing to answer. But yeah, it's something I've thought about as well. We didn't even get 50%, so how do we get at that? And of course we have vacant homes, and we have absentee owners, right? And I'm not exactly sure what percentage those are, and I think all those things play into it as well.
Correct.
And do we want survey responses from the tenants? So, probably yes.
Linda?
Have you approached the marketing committee about putting together, because they have done this in the past?
We haven't approached anybody. We feel that you are a valuable resource to us and vice versa, so we want to start with you. That's not meaning we won't involve the marketing committee. We're waiting to see what kind of a plan we can come up with and decide what resources are necessary to execute the plan. But we need a plan first. So.
Jean?
And once the survey is completed, what is your plan for updating it on a monthly basis every time somebody moves in or out?
I'd be happy to get it done once first and then figure out how to update it and when to update it.
Well, then every month it's going to be empty and not valid.
That's perfectly okay.
Especially
I mean,
when property.
You're looking at 3,327 homes, over 5,000 people. A month-to-month change, that delta isn't going to have any effect on the results of what we're trying to get off of the survey. But to your point, I think it's something that, Bob had mentioned that we'd done it what year, Bob? 12 years ago. So I think we need to do it more than once every 12 years, so. Yes.
Charlie. Mike.
That's okay. With every thing like this, competition is great, and I think it'd motivate the delegates here. I wish I hadn't heard what Greg just said about his district and captains, because he's like covered 1 in 10, which is fairly phenomenal. But anyway, and of course with the competition there has to be a prize at the end of it, be it throwing a party for the district with the highest percent, something like that. Just my thought. Thanks.
Chris, is it against David Sterling to offer a bribe for responses? We'll consider that.
Any more questions? Okay, then let's draw this section to a close. I would like to say that due to the favorable response from everybody, that we'll form an ad hoc committee from the Delegate Assembly. That ad hoc committee will work to define exactly what should be asked and the system in which to do it. They'll interface with Michelle from marketing to get their input on the same questions, and also from a board liaison of the board's choice when ready. And we will be back to you on that. So anyone who would like to be part of that committee, I got one. Linda Vieira, Dolores, Dave, B, Carly, that's plenty. Okay, we got 5 that'll do it.
Thank you.
Linda, Dolores, Carly.
Dave?
Oh, David, perfect.
B? You got 5?
I got Linda, Dolores, Carly, David, B.
That's it.
B. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, next we will move to the Recreation Department report. That's generally Jason Ewald.
Cal, before Jason starts, did you also want to address the website project, or you want to put that off to later?
That basically has been, that's a committee that we've just tabled until we knew for sure how it would work with CCL.
Exactly.
But we will pick that up again.
CCL will be establishing their own communication website at some point, so.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just real quick, couple things going on in this month here. We got the garage sales. They're our first 3 Saturdays this month, so they start in 2 days from now. You can pick up a map at the front lobby here. There's Hernan at Tonoslaw created a map that's color coordinated that shows you which weekends, which districts are on there, so it makes it real easy to see. If you have any residents that don't know either, they can come by and pick up a copy. So that first 3 weekends, make sure you check that out, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Remember still, you guys, it is still closed to the public like it has always been. However, your guests are invited. So if it's your housekeepers, your gardeners, all of them are still invited, just like it has always been. Just remember, you can't come off the street and say, I want to go to the garage sales at Sun Lakes. Okay. After that, you guys, May 23rd, we have the shredding. So tax season is done. So this is always a very popular day. It's shredding day. For those of you that have known and done it in the past, we make it as simple as possible. It's pretty much a drive-through service. It takes place right out the back here. Come on up, you line up, and you just pull your car through, and our monitors will make sure your stuff gets shredded. And you can even, if you want, you can kind of park and stop and watch it get shredded if you really want to. If not, we just make sure it gets shredded for you. Still really, really cheap at $5 per banker box size. Remember, banker box size is like this, you guys, not this, okay? I've had it before. That's going to take place from 9 to noon, and that will be, like I said, $5 per banker box. Weekend entertainments, you guys, starting in May with the veranda opening up, the priority will be on the veranda. So it will be on the veranda unless the weather is horrible, then it will be moved from there, either probably in here. If it is a small group, we can move into the lounge, but more than likely veranda in here or the lounge. So again, that'll start May. So it's going to be some beautiful weather, you guys. So looking forward to it. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me if the decision to not allow people from the outside community in for garage sale days is enshrined in our documents, or is this a board decision?
Yes, it is a rule. So it's just a resolution of the board, Cal. I do know that I have received a couple letters from homeowners that will be coming in front of the board about asking, hey, can we open it up? So it is just a resolution, but it will have to be reviewed by the board and then decision made by the board.
I might comment that it seems a bit odd that we do not let people outside the community in for the garage sales, but if you're having an estate sale, you're open to the world.
You're absolutely correct. Well, open the world with the estate sales, you still have to give a list to the gate. So you're still restricted to that, but you're absolutely right, Cal. So it is something that's always been contentious. Half of the community says, open it up, let them in here, we want to get rid of our junk. The other half says, no, don't, we like just passing it around between everybody in here. So that's kind of the way it's been, but as of currently right now, we are still under that no outside is allowed in unless they are your invited guests.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to pass this out, Janice. I'm sorry I didn't get this early, but as I'm done here, I'm going to just walk around and hand it out. This is the EPAT bulletin, you guys. It is also going in your newsletter as well. Thank you.
Okay, next we have the announcements from Board of Directors.
Quite honestly, I think we did that.
Fine.
Thank you.
Fine.
And unless if another board member has something to share. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then we have announcements from the administration.
Sorry, Cal, my computer was about to die, so I'm plugged in right now, but my report's on the computer, so I'll just stand right here. Just some quick updates. Buttons for message to management, we just talked about it briefly. That is on the website. Those buttons should be active. So the HOA1 message to management, click that for issues dealing with HOA property, streets, etc. The one that says food and beverage management, click that. That will send the message to CCL. They have their normal QR codes, etc. We have the box up at the receptionist desk for you if you choose to write your comments. Phone system upgrade, that project originally started with Randy Robbins to bring in a new phone system. The board had approved it, and that system, we're currently working, putting down the lines. We have not received the phones yet. The phones should be on the 13th of May, delivered, installed, and training should take place. So then we can make sure CCL has their phones as well, and we have our phones. Key things are we're going to be able to track calls, including voicemails, if they're left or not, if the call's returned, sending those voicemails to an email address, easily allowing call forwarding. That was an issue we saw was a difficulty when there was no one at the reception desk and we had to send calls to the reception desk in the main clubhouse here instead of the hostess stand, I'm sorry. That was an issue. This should be easier now. Also, there will be backup systems in place to ensure the phones stay active if Spectrum goes out. So there was a redundancy in it. We've seen it where Spectrum has gone out, can't reach the gate, can't reach anyone. So there's built-in redundancy in there using a 5G technology through Verizon, that's it, as a backup. So look forward to getting that done. Lounge acoustics, City of Banning has approved the sprinkler plan. Panels have been secure, but we're going to need to wait till after Charity Week to do the work because by then the veranda opens up. Members will not be inconvenienced with construction going on. They'll have an avenue to go out to the veranda, eat, drink, and be merry. So look for after Charity Week for the lounge acoustics to be installed along with the extensions to the sprinklers. And finally, we talked a little bit about road work. The mill and paved road work should be done today. Next task is having the project manager, AEC, come out, review the pavement management plan, address areas that have worsened in the streets so that we can then address some of those during the slurry seal project that will occur in the late summer. So those are some quick updates for you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, and next we're going to come to the announcements from the district delegates, and we're going to start with Barbara.
Is that on? Is it on? Okay. Barbara Elness, District 1. I just have a question about this bylaws amendment that's passed out here. It's dated 2008, and I know that we just voted on an amendment to this. And if there were changes made, shouldn't it be dated April 2025? So I don't know what this is.
Barbara, that's the original document from that date that went through the board and the lawyer and changed the bylaws so that the creation of the delegate assembly could happen. That's kind of our foundational document right there. We have added to that, and you're correct, we probably should get that updated, but I'm not sure that's available quite yet.
No, yeah, you guys, that does take some time.
You've got to go through the court. If I'm not
Right,
mistaken.
yeah, it's with the attorney right now to finalize everything. That way we can send it to the court and get it recorded, and then we will have it updated.
And just for general information for everyone that might be here or be listening, that is because we don't have enough people voting according to our own bylaws to actually make a change unless 75. Go ahead.
No, actually, it worked out with you guys because it extrapolates out for you guys there. 82% of the delegates voted yes on it. So it passed. It got the 3%. So it just takes time for the attorney to do the finalization of the wording and the record or prepare all the documents to send to the recorder's office to get it recorded. That's the time where we're at right now. So that's all we're waiting for. So it passed. We're good.
We're good. Okay, great.
Okay. The other thing is, normally we have a sign-in sheet. I haven't seen it. What happened to that? And and
Good catch.
Usually the board reads from their messages that they're going to attach to the newsletter, and that wasn't done.
Is there someone from the board that would like to address messages from the board?
Barbara, you're referring to the one-page report? Okay. I think we had a faux pas between the last president and the new president, but we do have a copy of it. Oh, you're talking about this one? You have April, right? Yeah. Oh, I thought so, okay. We haven't done May yet.
Linda?
Well, I'd like to call your attention to the fact that it's already May, and after the delegate assembly, delegates usually send out their newsletters. By the time we get your message from the master board, it'll be the middle of May before we get our newsletters out. So I think if you could hurry up and do it this afternoon, it would be a good idea.
Bob, the timing you getting it to the delegates, Bob? When did we typically do that previously?
Yes, we would always have it available prior to their first meeting so they could send it out with their newsletters.
So prior to this meeting?
Correct, yep.
Okay, we'll take care of that, sorry.
No problem, thank you.
So what will happen?
They're going to...
It'll be late.
What's good, you guys, what'll happen is I know the board, they will probably get it in the next day, probably the next 48 hours. It'll be completed, I'm assuming. You guys, even if you send your stuff to the printers today, you're not gonna it's not gonna be printed in 24 hours. As soon as the board gives it to me, they'll send it to me, and I will send it to the printers as soon as I get it.
Thank Thank you.
I'll probably have to have my wife drive the car on Friday, and I'll write it and send it to Jason.
Any more, Barbara? No? Loretta?
Not on? Loretta Kuzar, District 2. We're working on stability. The District 2 has gone through a lot of different things this year. And now we're working on it and bringing more stability to the District 2 program.
Thank you. Jim?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Jim Nickel, District 3 Delegate. Welcome to all delegates, our Master Board, FSR, and our residents. I just want to send some thank yous out to Candace for the event that was on Sunday for the EPAP, us volunteers. Linda, Janice, Brian, and Candace did an outstanding job. It was a great show of appreciation for all us that volunteer. So thank you. Wonderful event. Candace, thank you. I also want to thank Michelle, her community awareness. The last event was excellent. This one coming up is really beneficial. I encourage everyone to go out and watch these events. They're informative, very professional, and just a great event. So please get out there and support our community awareness. Super event. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Dolores?
Dolores Doherty, District 4. I'm going to make a comment on something that Janice said about our last election, the horrible turnout. I've been a delegate for 7 years. We've never had an outcome like that where so many of the districts did not meet quorum. And I know I was talking to Curtis before the election started, the certification, and I asked him, why can't the delegates get the addresses of the residents, the homeowners that don't live there? We were able to get that information when we were trying to pass that thing for the, not only that, there was that other thing they tried to pass to get that money to replenish one of our funds. We got all that information. Why can't we get it when it's time to do our election for the board members?
If I understand you correctly, what you're saying is you would like a list of the people who haven't voted?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is
in
correct.
an election prior
Yes.
to, so you can go out and canvass
That is
for those
correct.
votes?
Yes.
Jason, Chris?
Dolores, did he give you an answer?
He said it had something to do with privacy.
That's exactly it. That's what you guys, laws have changed nowadays, and your privacy is even more sacred than it ever has been in the past. With that, yes, there's a lot of people that, with how elections are, not only on the local level, but as far as national level, there may be people out there that don't want you to know that they didn't vote. And that is what they are trying to save there. They're trying to save that privacy of not singling somebody out saying, you're not, because that person may not want to know or want you to know that they didn't vote. That's what they're trying to protect. And that's the issue, and that's some of the laws that have changed, and I believe that's what he's saying with the privacy. Because, yeah, it's just, because then you're kind of like, not badgering, but you're.
I know, but it doesn't help us.
I get it. It doesn't help us at all. It does not. But that is, I believe that is the reasoning for it.
Jim Dickel again. What about sending out a second ballot? In my district, 25% of my homes are rental, so the owners are not on location. And I think when we send it out, say it's a month ahead, they're getting it, setting it aside. But if we sent another one out to encourage them, could be an option. Thank you.
Dave?
Dave Miller, District 5. Last month we had the Fill the Cupboard, and it was very successful. Had lots of boxes of food and hygiene products and paper goods and all sorts of stuff. Plus we had a really nice check for them for a little over $400. So they were really happy about that. And also my wife, your District 5 out there, your alternate delegate, has started the District 5 Facebook page. So if you're a member of District 5, please join to stay up to the minute with the events that are happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail Billick, District 7. We are finishing up our Fill the Cupboard as well, and they'll be delivered this week. And I want to thank Rich Morales for keeping our Facebook page for District 7 up to date and with all the events and everything that goes on.
Kathy?
Kathy Aldergetty, District 8. I believe District 8 is supposed to be working on Fill the Cupboard for May. My district has been putting things together. I do have quite a few things in my garage. I just need to know how I proceed from here.
Talk after the meeting?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Good afternoon, this is Jess Ocampo from District 6. Regarding meeting the quorum, what we did was we reminded the residents to cast their vote. So we did that with the help of the zone captains. So as a result of that, we met the quorum. And as far as the survey is concerned, I think we should focus on what affects the residents, you know. Right now, ever since I moved here, we got poorer because I had to pay HOA. I think it doubled by 50%, you know. And since I'm also part of the Lakeside 2, I noticed that my Lakeside 2 condo fee went from $140 to almost $200 now. So at the same time, we've been concerned about the deficit that we've incurred on our restaurant and our golf. And I think those issues should be addressed in the survey. Thank you.
Linda Vieira?
Linda Vieira, District 9. I'd like to say that the chorale concerts are this weekend. You can buy tickets in the lobby. Hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a very, very exciting and different concert this spring. We're having an event with District 14 on May 21st. I'll leave that for Carly to tell you about. For several years, I have complained about standing water at some of our corners all through the district. Drew Lowry, who lived across the street from me on Hilton Head, died from complications from a mosquito bite. At the corner of Hilton Head and Country Club, there is standing water always in that corner. And I want to know, I sent a message to management and I did not receive an answer. I need to know what kind of mosquito abatement plans you have, not only for that corner, but for every other corner that has standing water, like the one I always complain about at Country Club and Hogan. There's a great big puddle of standing water, and that is so dangerous.
Jean?
Jean Dobson, District 10. I know that the gift cards have been addressed, but it's such a long-standing tradition to issue those gift cards to each district delegate at the beginning of the year. And I think I'd like to see this escalated to get some kind of a system in place. It would certainly improve restaurant lounge revenue if we could get those cards issued and more people would be introduced to the new restaurant and facilities. I want to thank Chris especially, and in future for the board to really concentrate on giving us an update to things that especially the delegates have brought to the attention. Sometimes I get the feeling that if we bring something to the attention of either administration or the board, it just falls into a black hole and we don't really know about it, so I appreciate those updates today. And I don't know if anybody else is experiencing, but I think there's a kind of feedback on this microphone system today that's kind of making it difficult for understanding other people and what they're saying. So I don't know if it's the console in the back, if it's the system in overall, or it's just different today. And I would like to have somebody look into that for the future.
Sosie.
Sosie Hyde, District 11. We are having our first get-together next Saturday over at Lori Hazelton's house. We're doing drinks and a fiesta. As far as our changeover, she's still going to be very active as the second in command, but she just wanted to make sure she had enough time to have her fun as far as the pool league, so that's the reason we did the switch over. And that's it.
Glad to have you. Ann?
Ann Hofer, District 12. Question has come up before me asking, do the residents get the verification of votes as we did delegates? Do the residents, is that posted for the residents? It's on eBlast? And the website? Okay. I also want to make a mention on the website. Thank you for putting both of those messages to CCL and management there. It does not come up on the app. So
It does.
for the CCL, it didn't come up for me. Did you? Okay. Then I retract that. We are planning with District 18 another event coming up in June. A little far out yet for planning stages, but just wanted to put that out there. Welcome to our new board members, our delegates that have joined us this week. Welcome board. We're very happy to have you attend our meeting. Thank you.
Janice?
Janice Rice. First thing, I wear a lot of hats. I want to thank all the delegates that helped make the EPAP volunteer appreciation a great success. I know it was a little bit hard what happened with the invitations, but I appreciate the fact that you all stepped up. Everybody got them out. I got 62 RSVPs, and like Candace said, over 120 attended. I hope everybody got hats. We had 144 made up, and I think I have 7 left, so that's another big thing. But for the delegates that did help bring some beverages and stuck around to help clean up, Dave Miller was so great, thank you. So anyway, that's great. I do want to share my alternate delegate, Jeannie Vaughn. She's doing okay, but she still is struggling with health, and so we almost didn't get to have a quorum or vote at the election. Cal came through for us, which I was appreciative of because I was on vacation and Jeannie was in the hospital. So I had to really dig. I made personal phone calls, emails, texting, and so we were 3 over quorum. So I'm glad that worked out. It is a struggle, and I hope we can somehow avoid that in the future. Thank you.
Carly.
Hello, Carly Beeks, District 14. First of all, I have a question. I don't know if it should go to the board or to Chris and Jason, but my question is, my residents keep asking me about, there's a home on 1534 Crystal Downs, and it says that it's owned and managed by Sun Lakes. There's a big sign on the door and window, and it's been vacant now for 8 years. So my question is, what can we do about it?
Okay, so I can check on that property, make sure that there's nothing going on with it, but Unfortunately, we're waiting for the bank to foreclose. I think I've talked about this probably for the last 3 years. We've tried to get with HUD.
Foreclosed.
A lot of these homes that you see there that the HOA has taken possession of by foreclosing on the 2nd were reverse mortgages. And many of those banks, WAMU and whatever bank that was there during the great financial collapse, are gone. The only thing that remains is HUD guarantees those reverse mortgages. So in 2021, 2022, we finally got into talk to HUD, talked to somebody who was working from home at a nice beach area and asked, hey, can you work with us? We'd like to sell these with you. I am sorry, we cannot sell those houses. We will not take a haircut on those. The American citizens will get their full money back. This is a house that they lent money of $500,000 that was worth at that time maybe $225,000. And they said, no deal, you'll wait until we make our decision. And so we will continue to wait until HUD forecloses. All we can do is make sure the property is maintained on the outside, that there's not somebody breaking in. We have Securitas go and do their sweeps of watching these, but from getting somebody new, we have to wait for HUD to take action.
Okay.
The HOA cannot sell those, because when you sell a house, you have to have clear title.
Right, right.
And there's not clear title because there's a first lien on it. Therefore, we're stuck.
Okay, because I went to that house yesterday, and you can see that there's rodents in the house, and the neighbors now are getting rats, and so can we at least?
Well, we can address that. I
Okay.
wrote down the address and we'll take a look at it.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, yes, on May 21st, we'll be having our district party also with District 9, and it's going to be a 50s sock hop, and it's going to be in the South Clubhouse, so if you'd like to join, give me a buzz and we'll set you up. Thank you.
B.
B. Mercado, District 15. I would like to thank the board for their well-timed You fixed channel 97 for my district. I was very happy to receive notices on my phone regarding channel 97 updates. Also further detail into the Spectrum contract. And the one change I did notice, though, is mainly because you want to probably make it a little more intriguing, or maybe you want to offer a free gift once that upgrade has been installed, is that it has now become Chanel 97. So I don't know if Hernan is playing a little trick, or maybe he's checking our reading ability, but I think it's amazing. I actually think it will draw more of our community into accepting Spectrum and the upgrade. I want a free fragrance when I install mine. Chanel 97, it's quite amazing.
B, that is done by Spectrum. So every community that has a bulk cable has Chanel 97. So I can let them know, and they can redo that if you'd like and put it back to channel 97.
I think, let's keep it there and see how many other people notice. Let's see exactly. So, and also on April 17th, we had a spring fling for District 15. It was well attended. We had a marvelous cater of tacos, carnitas, carne asada, and pollo. It was well attended, and they were very happy and never left hungry. So I am very thrilled with my district. They are very responsive, very positive, and I'll be coming forward with more items of concern that they have regarding issues within our district. But again, thank you for your rapid report on Chanel 97. Have
You're
a good
welcome.
evening.
Greg?
Greg Voitka, District 16. I'm not going to be able to top that.
One constituent, oh, thank you to all the board members who are here today. I hope we can do this more. I have a question from one constituent. She works as a realtor. Her office manager received a letter from Chris Mitchell regarding a 200 square foot office space for rent in the master clubhouse. The manager has messaged Chris or the email address on the letter a couple of times, has not heard from him, so wonders what's going on. And if this is not the right venue to ask this question, then she can bring it up at open session.
No, it's fine. Bob, you want to address that?
Yeah, basically, we're looking at repurposing the Cheers Bar area to try to generate additional revenue. And other communities have done this, where they charge them a real estate company a lease fee and a percentage fee of their sales. And they have significant revenue coming in as a result of that. So what we've done is we meaning First Service, has mailed out with board approval indication of interest to different brokers that sell properties here. And we were going to review those after May 1st. The deadline was today, May 1st. I'm not certain how many responses we have. I think it's about 17 or 18. Is that correct? Roughly. Yeah, about 17 or 18 responses. So what we're going to do, we're going to get together as a board and then decide when to have a meeting with those people and show them what we have intended and see if they're interested in making a bid on that Cheers Bar area.
Okay, so at this point, the door is closed for any new contacts on that?
May 1st, the door was closed.
All it was, and the instructions
They
in the
either
email.
responded or they didn't.
I'm sorry, I can only hear one of you at once.
They either responded or they didn't. If they responded, we will be contacting them. If they have not responded, they will not be involved in the bidding process.
Okay, excellent, thank you, I'll pass that along. I'm looking for a couple of zone captains. I'm down two. I think I got somebody lined up for one of those zones. And I have found a treasurer. Pam Eckert moved into the community recently. She's got 30 years of banking experience. She can be our treasurer with her eyes closed. June 22 is the date for District 16 summer party. Debbie Pritchett Caputo and her social committee have cooked up a Western Hoedown theme event with games, music, trivia contest, 50-50 raffle, and a catered barbecue dinner. That's all.
Thank you. Anita?
Anita Lawrence, District 18. I'd like to thank all the District 18 residents who voted in the election. We made quorum and they all made me a very happy delegate. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome Del Andrus as the new zone captain for Zone G7 in our district. He replaced Tony Paradiso, who stepped down effective today, May 1st. And I'd also like to thank Tony for his years of service to the district. I'm still looking for an EPAP coordinator to replace our current coordinator, Pat Hofer, who has asked to step down. So if there are any residents interested, please contact me. I'll be happy to talk with you. Pat will be happy to talk with you about the duties that are required. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Quick question, Jason. I'm going to go back to the ballots that go out to the owners of rental houses. Do they not go directly to the owner their address of record? They don't go to the house.
No,
correct?
that is correct. They go to the official billing address.
Right, that's what I thought. So I'm kind of addressing, Jim, your question whether you wanted to send out a second ballot. Because they go to the owner, they don't go to the actual renter that's there. So that's that part. Second of all, again, I'll thank my district as well. We actually made quorum before the day of voting, which was nice to see. Barely, but we made it, so that was a good thing. And then the last thing is we have a spring pizza party and cornhole tournament coming up on May 17th at 5 p.m. in the South Clubhouse. The deadline for the district, for the residents in District 19 is May 10th, and you can drop off the flyer that you would have gotten to Chloe Sidwell. So thanks to the social committee for putting it up. It's putting it together. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. We're getting into the cornhole thought process, you know. It should be a fun thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Wade?
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Wade Sampson, and I'm the newly elected alternate delegate for my district. Our delegate is on jury duty, so I stepped in for her. I wanted to say that I was so proud of our district because I think we had the highest percentage of voters in the last election of all the districts, so that's a good thing for District 20. But I'm looking forward to helping in any way I can help Kate in any way that I can, and I don't have anything to say more than, because I don't know what's been going on. This is my first meeting, and I actually haven't had a chance to talk with Kate because she's been busy with her jury duty. So once I get up to speed with what's going on, when she's not here, I'll be able to be more involved and participate and share what's happening with our district. Thank you.
Thank you, Wade. Mike?
Mike Voles, District 22. I want to give a big hooray out to the previous board. Not that this board isn't involved with it, but getting in a professional organization to run our bars and restaurants, and those, I think, is a huge improvement for our country club here at Sud Lakes. I think it's going to work out just fantastic. It's a big job, and I think they hired the right company. I was in there today for lunch, and I don't know if they can keep up with the service they had today and the people in there, but it was quite impressive. The other thing is, District 22, we're going to have our barbecue coming up a couple weekends. So everybody, let's get out there. We have the tennis patio on South Clubhouse, as well as the inside room. We're going to be doing our own barbecuing, and I hope to find some people who would like to help barbecue. That'd be a big help. Other than that, I don't have much to say. I just want to welcome our new board, and thank the delegates that give their time for this. Thank you.
Charlie.
Charlie London, District 23. Last month we had a Easter spring dinner catered by Thomas, and while they were preparing our food, we had an Easter bonnet parade, which was very nice, watching these crazy people parade up and down with a bunch of silly hats on. Anyways, and we gave out some prizes for doing that because it takes quite a bit. Our recycling team brought in $214 last month. And one other thing I wanted to bring up about the board's announcements, we are going to have those to Lithopath by?
Soon. Soon.
What was it again?
Soon. Very soon.
Can you email us when those are ready to be picked up?
Yes.
Okay, pretty much that's all I got. Thank everybody in our district. They participate well. They have a good time. And one other thing about the newspaper called Life that ends up in the gutter with water running over it, and it's hard to read. So I don't know who's responsible for, whoever's throwing them out the window needs to put some rocks in them so they land at least on the driveway. I'm getting tired of picking them up from the corner when the wind blows them down the street. They could do a better effort on doing that. Anyways, I don't want to be negative about it, because we do have, this is the best place to live. Sun Lakes is great. You guys, volunteers, make it great for us. We appreciate that. The people that come out here, we enjoy it. And thank you, that's all I got.
Thank you, Charlie. Linda?
Linda Spalding, District 17. First, I want to thank Chris
Maintenance, we had smoke coming out of a street light on Northwood, and they were there within 15, 20 minutes to fix that. So I'm really pleased that that didn't go on. I don't know why there was smoke coming out, and there were sparks. So that was an exciting morning for that resident. Hole number 2 on the executive course, we've talked about this, Joe, but there are at least 8 tents. There are 2 close to the west wall on the tee box on hole 2. Also directly behind my home on the railroad side, so facing north, there's a lot of graffiti there. Usually we like to get that painted over, so it doesn't graffiti mean signals to everybody around that knows the signals or something? So concerned about that. We smell smoke at night, loud voices, and now there's a dirt bike that goes running in the back. Really concerned. I heard they had cleaned it up, but believe me, they're back.
Yes, I was out there all morning filming. I was using the drone this morning. I interviewed a couple of the homeless people. There was one gentleman that had a golf cart battery, and he was charging his cell phone with it, and I explained to him that a 6-volt battery is not going to charge a 12-volt phone. Where he got that battery was another question. So I've spent a lot of time out there with help from Greg, the district over there, and we're working on it actively, and I'm very aware of what's going on, and got plenty of dirt on my boots to prove it, so we're working on it currently.
I appreciate.
Securitas is aware of it, and they are monitoring it, and we're actively working on it.
I appreciate it. It's just disturbing at night when they're going up and down the back of the railroad on their dirt bikes. And it's not like early, it's like 10, 11 that they're doing that.
I understand. With regards to the comment of the loud voices you're hearing, maybe a little less wine before you go to bed. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Could be. Don't know. That box wine is hard to come by.
I would like to mention in reference to the graffiti. In the past, I had volunteered to take care of that personally, develop a committee and take care of it. And I was advised by First Service and the attorney that we could not do that due to liability issues. So what we have done is that we've authorized Mark and the First Service staff to go out and paint it, and we'll have to do that again. Now, as far as cleaning up the encampments, that's a difficult issue. You know, we've had you know, over and over again cleanups, but they keep coming back.
Yeah.
We need approval of the owner of that property, and that's Creation Equity. So we are contacting Creation Equity to make sure we can get approval and get them moved out again. But the homeless is a constant problem that we will have to always, regrettably, always be addressing.
Bob, who do we contact with the brush that is really growing over our wall? Because we had a fire not long ago where they put the brush on fire.
That would be the
So
city.
how do we get?
That would be the city.
The city?
Yeah, your city representative.
Okay.
Yep.
District 17, we had a meeting today and talked about our Christmas party. If any district needs to go in with someone, we'd love to entertain having you come and join us. We're the first Monday in December. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Cal Martin District 21. We, by just fate of the calendar, are also having a cornhole tournament on the 17th. So it will be here in the ballroom. It is open to not only all Sun Lakes residents, but their invited guests. We'll pretty much fill the ballroom with a bunch of cornhole boards and throwers and have another tournament here on the 17th. And then when they're all done, they're going to go over to Marcia's party and do it again. Or not. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I have as far as the district is concerned. So we will next move to the next 2 items on the agenda are, excuse me? Oh, Linda.
I didn't get an answer about mosquito abatement, and everybody else who had a problem received a response. Can you tell me about that, please?
Yes, and I did respond to you today, Linda, so if you'll check your emails, you'll see a response from me. It is taken, brought it to Mark. We are going to be bringing it to the board to see what we can do there. You guys, it is, the way the gutters and everything are laid in this community, they're not all draining to where they should drain. And a lot of that runoff comes from homeowner runoff from sprinklers, and it just sits there. So we will be working with operations and the board to see what can be done and what can be done for the future to stop it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on the agenda next, we have old business, new business. There was none brought forward when we modified the agenda. We will skip those. Move to item 12, which would be member comments from the audience. These are limited to 3 minutes. We ask the members to make sure that any speech is appropriate and relevant to business of the Delegate Assembly. And I believe we first have Michelle Walter.
Michelle Walter. Linda, I'm going to give you a number. I was at Four Seasons and Vector Control was there, and yes, Linda Vieira. So you can call Andrea, and she is Vector Control. Her number is 951-766-9454. And to let you know, Vector Control comes out here. They don't have to have permission. They can just come out here and they put out traps and they find out where the water is. So if you want to call Andrea and let her know, maybe she can do something about that. But I do know that they do put out traps because I just talked to her. And the other person I want to give you, everybody, the number, her name is Andrea, and it's from Vector Control. And the other person I want to give everybody is, hang on just a moment. I talked to Randy, or Bob talked to Randy this morning, and there isn't a whole lot that we can do about the homeless. But I'm going to give you Jeff Platt, and he is a person that you can contact, Linda. Just give him my name also, but I'm sure he knows you. The number is 951-970-4959. And that's Jeff Platt, and he helps with the Opportunity Village. And you can also contact Officer Rodriguez, and I'm sorry I don't have his number, I just have an email for him. So those are just a few things that will help you. The other thing I want to let you know is that I know that you are trying to do this survey. The marketing committee has already come up with a survey for the demographics. So we'd be willing to help you, and I know B was probably like, oh, we've got somebody. Bob is our liaison, and he was in marketing for a long time also. So if you would like for us to help you, I'd be more than happy. We already have a survey that is already done, so we could add to it or take something away or give you a lot of information for the people that are on that ad hoc committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Linda, just to let you know as well, I misspoke. So I followed up with Mark today on that, but I responded on 4/16 to your email. Linda Vieira, sorry.
We need to separate.
You do, because I'm looking at both of you sitting right next to each other. Linda, so 4/16 a reply, but I did talk with Mark this morning about it too. So.
Any more comments from the membership? If there are no more comments from the membership, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. It's been a long one. Do not forget to pick up your goodie bags and all your stuff for Charity Week. It's in the back. Thank you, everybody. Truly appreciate your attendance.